As we age, our choice in what we eat plays a more important role in influencing our health, especially as we pass the dreaded benchmark of turning 40. Entering middle age carries with it particular considerations for preserving our best possible health and vitality. People of all ages want to feel their best and have the most energy and happiness possible, but the foods we eat have different results for people of different ages. Drinking a 6-pack of beer and having fast food for dinner won't feel as good at 40 as it did in your early 20s. Although there aren't any strict guidelines regarding what an individual should or shouldn't consume after their 40th birthday, it becomes very clear that at this point in life, the food we eat will have a very pronounced effect on our health and mood. Some unhealthy foods that didn't seem to faze us early in life can suddenly have people feeling miserable and even lead to more serious and lasting chronic health issues. In today's video, we will dig deep and determine what foods are no longer recommended in a healthy diet after you hit 40. We'll go into detail about how your body handles these foods and why they are unfortunately no longer an ideal match for a healthy lifestyle after reaching middle age. Keep in mind that just because certain foods appear on the list, it doesn't mean you can never have them again. It just means that those foods are best to limit in your diet or consume them in moderation. Happiness and satisfaction are high on most of our lists when considering what is important for our ideal lifestyle. If your favorite food appears on the list, it doesn't mean you have to scrub it forever after turning 40. However, you should make some dietary adjustments so you can enjoy not just a longer life, but a higher quality life. It's amazing how making small dietary changes will result in more energy and drive to do the things in life that you enjoy most. Before we get started, if you value your health, please watch the video until the end and ring that notification bell so you don't miss any of our videos. Our goal here is to spread knowledge of health and wellness so you can live life to the fullest and unleash the best version of yourself. Alright, let's get to the video. Number 1. Soda. In all honesty, people of all ages should avoid drinking this sugary beverage, or at the very least, consume it in moderation. If you value your health and want to prevent unwanted chronic health issues in the future, steer clear of this sugar-filled liquid. Soda contains extremely large quantities of sugar, which can raise the risk of developing diabetes and other health issues. Most sodas also contain phosphoric acid, which might weaken your bone's calcium. Drinking soda on a daily basis also increases your chances of stroke and heart disease. The American Heart Association advises that added sugars make up no more than 10% of your daily caloric intake. Depending on many factors, including gender, size, age, and activity level, this is typically between 25 and 36 grams of sugar. Unfortunately, most Americans easily eclipse this number daily. A single can of soda usually exceeds 36 grams of sugar, making this benchmark often surpassed. If you're looking for a healthier soda alternative, try drinking water infused with lemon or lime for a zesty twist. Alternatively, you may combine actual fruit juice with sparkling water to make your own healthy soda. I know most soda drinkers can't stand it, but H2O is my personal favorite beverage of choice. If you're serious about your health and lowering your risk of heart disease and stroke, try making a switch to water and see how sweet it feels to live a healthy lifestyle. Number 2. Dairy with added sugar. Dairy products, especially those with added sugar, are well known for their high protein and calcium content, which is vital for maintaining healthy bones. However, it's important to be aware that many dairy products also contain added sugar, which poses a serious health risk, particularly for those over 40. Thus, it's imperative that you carefully read the ingredient list on your dairy products to avoid this issue. It's advisable to avoid products with added sugars, including corn syrup and evaporated cane juice if you come across any kind of sugar. Instead, seek alternatives. Unsweetened almond milk is a great option since it has a creamy, light texture without having too much sugar. You should also think about including more calcium-rich dark leafy greens in your diet, like kale or spinach. These veggies give you the nutrients you need to keep strong bones without requiring you to consume dairy products with added sugar. Number 3. Fast food. Fast food is fast, convenient, and seemingly inexpensive if you stick to the value menu. It's understandable how popular these food chains have become, but you'll see a direct correlation between the number of fast food chains and the number of people who develop chronic health conditions such as heart disease, kidney disease, and numerous other issues stemming from obesity. Fast food is unhealthy for people of all ages, but when you turn 40, the health consequences become even more dire. As we age, our bodies change, and so do our nutritional demands. For this reason, cutting back on fast food consumption is essential for anyone over 40 who wants to stay healthy. Fast food meals with high calorie content can quickly surpass 1,000 or even 2,000 calories on average. Consuming too many calories can lead to weight gain and related health problems. Most fast foods are full of LDL cholesterol and saturated fats, both of which can block arteries and cause heart disease. Most fast foods are extremely processed and contain high amounts of sodium, which will increase your blood pressure over time, leading to chronic heart conditions. For elderly people who may already be predisposed to hypertension or high blood pressure, this presents a serious concern. All of these negative nutritional consequences also come with a severe lack of nutrients that can help offset the unhealthy components commonly found in fast food. Vitamins, minerals, and healthy fats are lacking in most fast foods, which leaves them extremely undesirable for any age group, but especially so for those who are hitting middle age. So don't live life in the fast lane. Try to increase cooking meals at home and live life on the highway to health instead. Number 4. Processed meats. Most processed foods aren't known for being healthy, but processed meats can be especially bad news for those entering their 40s. This includes processed meats like hot dogs and deli meats, which are often high in sodium and saturated fats. These meats contain nitrates, which are added as preservatives, but have been linked to an increased risk of cancer. To add protein to your diet without the negative effects of processed meats, consider substituting processed meats with lean, fresh meats like chicken breasts or fish. You can also improve your meals by adding fresh vegetables, fruits, beans, and whole grains. While processed meats may seem handy for quick meals or when time is limited, they frequently include large quantities of sugar, which is an extra factor that raises the likelihood of developing diabetes and heart disease. In contrast, these nutrient-rich alternatives offer a healthy balance. So if you want to meet your healthy fitness goals for the new year, make sure you choose wisely. Number 5. Grain-fed red meat. No doubt steaks and other delicious red meats are so flavorful, they make us salivate just thinking about them. The painful truth is that consumption of red meat in high amounts has been linked to a higher risk of heart disease and cancer, especially when those meats come from grain-fed animals. Most people are unaware there is even a significant difference between grass-fed and grain-fed, but you'll be shocked to see how something so seemingly insignificant can really affect your health. The problem stems from the fact that cows raised on grains are frequently given hormones and antibiotics, which greatly raises the possibility that the germs and carcinogens in their meat may lead to cancer. Because naturally grazing cows eat grass as their main source of nutrients, grass-fed beef has been found to have higher levels of beneficial nutrients like vitamin A and E and more antioxidants than grain-fed beef. As a result, grass-fed beef has lower levels of saturated fat and cholesterol compared to grain-fed beef. The price may be a bit higher at the grocery store now, but if it saves you a trip to the hospital, it is money well spent. So don't be a coward when it comes to your wallet and spend the extra cash to ensure the only beef you'll have in your stomach is the grass-fed kind. Number 6. White bread and pasta. I feel the despair of my Olive Garden fanatics already. Sorry to disappoint, but after 40, you really need to consider how often you indulge in the endless pasta and breadstick special. Though delicious, white bread and most pastas will find themselves high up on the glycemic index, which means that they create rapid rises in blood sugar levels followed by a sharp decrease soon after. White bread has also been associated with higher cholesterol levels over time, contributing to an increase in heart conditions. Instead of consuming processed grains like white flour or refined grains, choose whole grains like whole wheat bread, brown rice, or quinoa. Since whole grains have a lower glycemic index, they don't significantly alter blood sugar levels. By switching to whole grains, you can lower the harmful effects of consuming pasta and white bread. If you make the switch to whole grains, they'll provide you with longer-lasting energy, better satisfy your hunger, and improve your heart health. So make the change in your bread and watch all your worries be put to bed. Number 7. Low-fat or fat-free foods. Seeing a fat-free or low-fat label on a food item might lead you to believe that the food is a healthy option and could result in you losing weight. Unfortunately, this is rarely the case. All that taste needs to be made up somehow, and the ingredients used often aren't the healthiest for your body or your weight. These types of products are supplemented with sugar to make up for the taste, which makes them significant contributors to chronic diseases like obesity and diabetes. These foods are also typically made of refined flour and sugar, so they lack essential nutrients like protein and fiber, leaving you with a high intake of empty calories. When fat is removed from some meals, like cheese or chocolate, critical nutrients are lost. For example, cheese naturally contains high levels of calcium, potassium, and vitamin B12, all of which are necessary for maintaining good health as you age. When you remove fat from foods that naturally contain it, you're left with less nutritional value, and you also won't feel as full as you should after eating them, which can lead to overeating and gaining a few pounds in the process. So don't let those food marketing gimmicks get the best of you. Avoid these foods, and you'll age like fine wine. Just skip the fat-free cheese pairing. Number 8. High sodium foods. Although the body needs sodium in small amounts, excessive salt consumption is concerning since a high level of sodium elevates blood pressure and increases the risk of heart disease and stroke. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention state that most Americans eat between 3,400 and 4,700 milligrams of salt daily, which is pretty much double the amount recommended by the Institute of Medicine's recommended daily limit of 2,300 milligrams. Canned soups and frozen dinners, among other processed meals, are common sources of high salt. The same can be said about fast foods and processed meats, but I think they've been shamed enough. By continuing a high sodium diet, water is added to your bloodstream, which will increase the blood pressure and, over time, stretch the walls of the blood vessels and create plaque, resulting in clogged arteries and heart conditions. The older we get, the higher this risk becomes, so take the proper steps and stay away from these foods. Sorry if you're feeling a bit salty about this news, but that's the truth if you want to keep your heart healthy. Thanks for sticking with us until the end. We hope this list has given you some inspiration for choosing a healthy diet. Honestly, these foods are good to keep in moderation or eliminate altogether for all ages. But after we hit that age 40 mark, we really need to get serious about our health. Every meal can add or subtract years from your life, so choose carefully. Thanks for watching, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and put on notifications so you never miss a video. See you in the next one, and remember to stay healthy and stay based.